Today we'll be taking a look at the internet. It's a magical place where you find communities with like minded people. But sadly, today our story isn't about the fun side of the internet. However, it's going to be about the rampaging misinformation on it. So we'll be covering three things today. One on what is misinformation, two on how it spreads, and three on how to stop it from spreading. So, Atif, please go ahead and explain us on what is misinformation.
Okay, thank you, sir. With so many sources of information online, it has become difficult to make sense of what content is based on fact, half truths, or lies. The use of digital platforms to share things we believe to be true when they may not be can have a powerful ripple effect, influencing others to see them as facts. This can be especially dangerous for children and young people who can be persuaded to take on distorted views of the world that could cause them or others harm in the real world. What do you think about this, Isa?
Yeah, like I agree with you on that. Like, I think that is what exactly what misinformation is on. So now that we have got that out of the way, let's just talk on how misinformation spreads. So the research shows us that the most amount of misinformation spread is in non-English communities. And what I mean by that is, we can take for example a personal story that has happened to me. So I got a message once on WhatsApp saying that school is closed, and we had an important exam on that day. So what did I do? I didn't go to school because I got that message. But that was actually fake news. And I missed one of the biggest exam of my life. So Atif, has any of this happened to you?
Exactly, Isa. That happened to me one time as well. Same
Yeah.
exact thing happened to me.
Yeah. But it's not only yourselves. It's in the whole world. It's not only normal school. It's bigger than normal school. This can ruin a person's reputation. Like, for example, there's a
This
video
life,
posted in Spanish that of Kamala Harris faking a vaccination. And that is a big fake news, but it has affected her life a lot. So Atif, what were you going to say?
I said, yeah, it's very common these days. Misinformation spreading is very
Yeah,
common.
yeah, because it's common
It's like
because
every
people they don't fact check anything. They just read it, they believe it, and they say, forward it to other people.
it's
So
like everything in social media is fake, almost fake these days. Everything in social media is almost fake.
true, and also companies like Facebook and YouTube, these companies only focus on misinformation in English. For example,
Yeah,
as I told you, Kamala Harris faking a vaccination, Facebook has flagged that as fake information. But the same video posted in Spanish, Facebook has not done anything. And we think the reason for that is Facebook doesn't. Companies like Facebook, YouTube, they don't care about other languages. They only care about stuff like what is happening in US, the main the main language.
and yeah. I agree with you on that.
So,
It's like English is the
Atif,
only language they care about.
yeah. So, Atif, I want to ask you a question. So, how do we stop misinformation from spreading?
Before that, we'll talk about how it spreads.
Yeah. So, how do you think it's going to spread?
Fake news stories use technology and social media to look like proper news sites. Organizations and political groups target you with ads that look like the news, while some hackers use bots, bits of software to create multiple social media accounts and use those to spread disinformation. This can make a false story seem real, simply because it looks like it has been shared by so many people. Fake social media posts and accounts help make misinformation very viral. Sometimes this is then reported as facts by real journalists. When it becomes the news, the line between fact and fiction becomes blurred. So, Isa, Don't have you seen fake news like exactly cloned like the real ones? Haven't you seen those
Yes,
types?
I've seen many fake newses when I go through articles. There's news that seems very true but is fake. So one of the
Exactly.
reasons that's this is one of the reasons why I fact check stuff. For example, if you, as I said, if you go through an article, stuff like that, it's most likely comes from a unreliable site, right? Unreliable
Yeah,
site. So you have to go through it. You have to dig through. You have to go take more research, and then that's the only way you'll find out whether this research is true or not.
yeah. Even on Facebook and Instagram, you have to only believe news that are from verified accounts.
Yeah,
If
and
they are not verified, it's not. I would say don't believe those.
yeah, and current days people from low educated families they don't fact check stuff, right? And this is what
Yeah,
affects them the most. They don't fact check stuff. They just believe stuff and forward it to other people. And this is why
yeah.
it's affecting the world a lot.
Totally agree with you on that. Isa can't disagree because that's really true actually.
So, Atif,
Uneducated
would you
people
like to
do that.
tell us on how we can stop misinformation from spreading?
It's very easy to stop misinformation from spreading actually. Isa, it's easy. You just fact check for authority. Yeah, authority means you check for who is the author and where did the item come from. Check on the individual company or institution to see who has done it, who has spread that information, and if it's true, and if you are confident that it's true, share it. If not, I would say leave it. And another thing for look is objectivity. Uh, See that if the information is presented with all the personal bias, you know is it an opinion or is it trying to sell you something? If it's trying to sell you something, then it's fake. And another thing is, this is very important, check at timelines. Fake information will have a different day, and its content, the content you should be looking should be up to date, or the website should be updated regularly. If it's a very old website, then it's fake. And that's all is all. What do you have to
Yeah,
say
so
about it?
like adding on to what you said, like you said, it's very easy to stop misinformation from spreading, right? But the
Yeah,
thing is, people aren't doing that. Because
yeah,
why?
they are very
Because
careless.
yeah, people are not teaching them how to do that. As I said, low educated families, they are people are not teaching how to fact check stuff like that. And I believe that
Yeah,
if we actually teach people to fact check and stuff like that, misinformation can stop spreading once and for all, right?
yeah. I
So
totally agree with that.
that, this is why we believe that the misinformation in the current world is really bad, and a lot of people get affected by it. Even a normal man, for a normal man, if he get accused of doing something bad and you share it, it could ruin his whole life. So
Yeah,
that's it for today. So Atif, before we end, would you like to say anything?
yeah, guys, if you are watching on Facebook Live right now or YouTube, please drop a like and drop your comments and suggestions. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. So see you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Colombo,
Peace.
are you really good with ideas but need help with expressing and presenting it to your team or an audience or a group of people, whatever you might call it? I have had these similar problems too. Sometimes we know what to say, how to say it, but the struggles to express it to an audience is tough to understand, and expression becomes almost impossible. I needed help. We need help. Practice and most importantly, coaching. Now I am able to express myself. I am trying to master the skills of presentation, but perfection is a process and it's a journey. Anything to become a public speaker and to be confident is my game and I like to do it. So do yourself a favor. Join me, click the link and sign up, and I shall be able to give you a free consultation on how we can go about